Hello.
Hi.
So we are back again, and today Lindsay and I are going to review another favorite episode with
Hmm.
Jacob and Vanessa, the
Yeah.
second mini-sode of About with Dad. It was one of these things where it was like, we scheduled the first season, and it was going to second season. And it was going to be about 6 episodes, and just didn't seem like enough.
Yeah.
And also the fact that it was only going to be once a month, which I think we can all agree sucks.
Yeah.
And as we're like, let's just do like little easy ones to go in between. None of them ended up being easy.
No, they're never easy.
I know, it's just like
the easy ones always are really hard on my end.
I know. And it's so funny too, because I remember when I explained this whole brilliant idea to my wife, she was just like, that's not going to be easy. And she's like, oh, you're right. But it was like too late by that point.
Because we were into it.
Because we were into it and we love doing it. So anyway, so those of you who are watching with us live, hopefully you've got queued up episode 204. And so I'll get you to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So here we go. So this is this episode. Is it one shot or is it 2 shots? It's almost only 1 shot. I think there is a cut coming.
Yeah, there is a cut.
So this little bit right here, I actually didn't write their dialogue, which was a mistake. I didn't realize how just to say to someone, oh, just improv. Like that's actually, like, I know now that's a terrible
skill.
It is a skill.
Yeah.
And it's not one that you can ever assume someone has. And also, I might know the characters better than them, so they might. So, moving forward, that's something like I'm more careful about. That being said, they're awesome. No, I make a cut. Yeah, because that was the better intro, and then we cut into a close up in a second. So there you go.
Yeah, this is the one scene that I actually see a lot because it is on my demo reel. So the demo reel is kind of the best of all your acting, and you send it out to other casting directors and agencies and things like that. And I've actually been doing that a lot lately because I'm having some changes in my life, and I get so many compliments on this scene in particular.
Good.
And that's how I started. It started with bang. So
that's great.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, hey.
Yeah. But B, this is one that I'm actually familiar with, unlike most of this commentary. There's actually a great story behind this one.
I know, it's so funny. We tell the story all the time to our friends. So it all comes from we're recording this around Christmas time. So the movie Scrooge is going to be on TV soon, and there's that bit where in the movie where one of the ghosts, I think it's the ghost of Christmas Past, says to, we're just talking about how everyone like starts crying. He's like, and people are gonna start crying. It's gonna be Niagara Falls. And I always kind of like that Niagara Falls is being a cue for lots of crying. And so
I have no idea what this reference is about.
Right. And so I just said to her, but I didn't think it was like a specific Scrooge reference. It was just I just said I wanted Lindsay to cry in this, and I said, could you give me some Niagara Falls? And then she said,
oh, so you want some sass? Because I'm from Niagara Falls. That's where I grew up. That's where I was born. And the girls are pretty sassy there. Like, we're a tough, loving group.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought you wanted.
I didn't know that was a thing. She just said to me, I said, in my mind, I said, I want you to cry. And she said to me, you want me to be sassy. And then I said in my brain, what the heck? So anyway,
what is wrong with this actor?
But I don't think we actually like cleared it up until like at the end of the day. It was like, by the way, what did you mean by Niagara Falls? I'm like, they cry. Oh, sorry.
No, you got it, because I understood.
Oh, we got it, but I don't. But I didn't clarify what I meant by Niagara Falls until later. I remember that was like.
Okay. I always find it hard as an actor when it says in a script or you're told like you need to cry right here, because that's so, at least the way I'm trained and I believe in acting, is that's very disingenuous, and everything should be coming from a
organically
place of real truth. So to say like you need to have a tear on the word I'm like, okay, that's really hard.
It is hard, but then so here's a question, a writer question for an actor. So when you want it to be a crying scene, like how do you, like, what should a writer be doing?
That's really tricky. I think everyone's different. For me, like, I know with the season finale of season 3, I knew from that table read, like, that was going to be a big day. That was going to be a hard day. I don't remember what exactly it said. It probably did say, like, I think it was like, all the girls are crying.
Yeah, probably. Like, I think it did.
Oh, God.
But it was also, we also we set the stage for that. Like we all like, we were all emotional anyway because of the big end of the journey and all that kind of stuff. I do want one thing that we didn't mention just then is, so one of the great things about that is like that episode is that it wasn't scored, but it kind of was. It wasn't scored by Adrian Ellis. It was actually scored by Robert and Wendy, because I just got them to record just them yelling.
Oh yeah.
So they're arguing. There's no music in it, but you sort of feel like there's music because their audio, which is muffled and like, and quiet and everything, but it sort of acted as the score in a way, because it was the score of tension. And and I even very specifically, I found parts where like if you were to actually listen to what they're saying, it wouldn't really make sense, because I was just using it as noise in a way. So there's moments there where the music they're arguing goes quiet just for a beat, because like I needed like a poignant moment for Lindsay. And so it was like, so that kind of worked with the score. But then for the end credits, it was like, well, usually for the end credits, I would just take a piece from that episode and stick it there. But of course there was nothing to take. And so that's I think this is the first time where I asked Adrian, I commissioned him, like, could you compose a piece of music for the end credits specifically? So that's when and then he said, well, what do you want? I said, well, I want Vanessa's theme. And of course he thought I meant the Rose Vanessa theme. And I said, no, her theme, like you did it. And he didn't actually realize that he had done it, because and I mentioned this in a previous commentary, but like during the voicemail that Vanessa is leaving in the first episode of the season, it goes into Vanessa's theme, and
I don't even think I realized it.
That's the first time you hear it, and Adrian himself didn't realize that he had actually created a motif there. So I said, I want that, but for the end credits. And so because I even tried to like edit it together, but it didn't work, right? And it wasn't long enough. So he created that piece, and so that is Vanessa's theme, which I'm actually using in the end credits for all of the Counseling Vanessa. We're being joined. Some of the patrons of Out with Dad are watching with us live, and someone has just asked, has just written to us saying, Vanessa's situation. Here, you read it. You're a better reader than I am.
Vanessa's situation really is a desperate one in 204. It also became inevitable that Vanessa would have to do something dramatic. Example, run away to gain a sense of perspective and find herself.
This is the beginning of that, right? Which is so interesting, because it kind of is, and it's certainly the beginning of it, and it's strange for us too, because like this journey of making the show has been spanned over years, and then to finally so the first episode of Counseling Vanessa, which is available now, to cut these things together, and then you actually see exactly what this viewers just mentioned is like, I cut it together and you see literally how these all link together.
And they do.
The kissing, really, the falling apart, the being, thinking she's being kicked out and so forth. So it's like it's all there. So it's really exciting, and that's something the first part of season 4 was missing that connective tissue-ness, but it's finally getting there. Like we're kind of back to it. Someone else has just said something.
Christina K. Hey guys, great job on your commenting. After I finally figured out how to comment, I just wanted to say that it was really interesting and funny.
Good, we're funny.
Yay!
And interesting.
And we're interesting.
You're welcome. And I have to agree, with it. Your acting in 204 is really awesome. Yeah.
Thank you, Christina.
It really is awesome.
I was very proud of myself that day. I think that was the first time I ever, like, on a film set, had to really cry and then made myself cry. Which
that's
like
cool.
A big thing.
That's
as
a big
an
step.
actor.
Yeah. It's so funny because like a lot of people, they make a big deal, like you hear this in like magazines, like the first on-set kiss or the first on-screen. I don't think that's the big deal. It's like tears.
And so I think emotion's harder but like you can't fake chemistry.
True.
Where a lot of films, they just fake tears. There's this weird thing that you just spray in your eyes and it makes you cry. It's really
even
weird.
There's like that cream. It's good for your like nasal menthol type stuff. Yeah.
A friend of mine would do it during a show we did together, and he would always be bawling. And I was like, "Oh, you're so into it," and he's like, "I'm cheating." Like, you bastard! I'm doing it for real. So much effort.
So someone is asking, Lindsay, how do you go about breaking down a script and tackling some of the rather intense issues?
That's really interesting. I would not call myself a very technical actor. I'm currently studying with someone who is all about method and really just going from your core. And I find with Vanessa, she is nothing like me, which a lot of people have picked up on and a lot of things with these commentaries and everything. So just really stripping away everything that I have. And luckily I've never had to deal with a lot of the issues that Vanessa or Rose really went through. I had a great, happy little childhood. So yeah, just, I do a lot of research. I like to read a lot of stories from other people and kind of take from that. And for me, I find acting is a lot of imagination because I haven't had to go through these things. So it's just literally like putting yourself in that situation and how would you feel? And that's what comes out for me.
I once heard an interesting story from Kurt Russell. Someone asked him about like, do you do a lot of research beforehand? And he's against it because he said his opinion is like the writer should have done all that research, and so all that should just be there in the script. And he says because for him, as long as he can believe everything that's in the script, he can make you believe that his character is living it and so forth. Like that I'm really simplifying what he said, but he said, but he made the caution. He said, like if I did go and research and then learn that the writer got it wrong, then how am I going to be able to really believe? Because now I don't believe it anymore. So
I've never had that issue because Jason does. Well,
I do. And
like a lot of the research was your research, being like, look, I found this.
Well, and I would point you to things. Yeah. That's true. I mean, there's even research for like there's even just stuff I've written. I don't know if this has happened for you. Well, of course not, because you're not in season 4 yet. But there's stuff in that I've given Caitlin and Kate to read because there was a time when I thought season 4 was just gonna be a podcast and it was just gonna be like a radio show, and it was gonna take place right from the moment season 3 ended. And so I wrote all these scripts for that point, so that's why I know what happened after there, but I don't actually want to tell anyone anymore. But I gave those scripts to the actors so they have all this backstory of what it is, and I think I haven't given it to you because
well, it's coming out in Counseling Vanessa now.
It's going to come through there, so like it's like the stuff I've written is canon, but no, but it's not for I don't want to spell it out to the audience. I think it's like it's got to be there, sort of like in the DNA of the story.
Patience.
So anyway, so I think this was a good one, and thanks for the great questions to those of you who are watching with us live.
For tuning in, that's great.
And if you want to join us live, patrons are welcome to do that. So I think it's patrons that are funding us $10 or more a month. They're always welcome, and I'm going to try and do a better job of notifying you when these happens. December is just a crazy month. So thank you to everyone for your patience, and be sure to keep an eye open on all our social networking feeds for more details. Oh, by the way, Periscope. I've been periscoping a lot lately.
It's so fun.
Yeah. So so there is an Out with Dad Periscope account. So it's just Out with Dad is the handle. So follow us on that or whatever you do. I don't know what the word is. Watch it. Stream with us.
I don't know.
I
need to get it on my own.
Hey, actually, I got an idea. Let's just Periscope right now for a few seconds. Yeah. So so this is weird. So we're live streaming to the patrons of Out with Dad, and we
live stream.
To
the world.
Oh, I went into Patreon, not Periscope.
Christina's from Germany. I love your country.
Hey, I love
knowing, right? I always love.
It's so cool to know
the geographics of the show.
Lindsay
from the beginning. I'd be like
and Jason.
Who's watching from where?
Recording. All right, so I'm gonna click Start Broadcast, and all right, so there we are. Oh, let's switch it around. Whoa!
Whoa!
Hey!
This is how it works.
Yeah, this is the giveaway. So. We are actually recording the live commentary to the pages we just finished, and we just recorded 2 in a row, and so now we're hey, CRT joined. She's
always there.
She was joining me last night. I was periscoping last night, and it was pretty crazy because I was like just getting work done. I thought I can just periscope at the same time. So so anyway.
Good morning to you too.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Yasa TV was on as well last night. So anyway, hello. So if you aren't on Periscope, get on Periscope and you can join us too. So strange periscoping live while chatting. Yeah, it's kind of messing with my mind. I feel like we're Inception casting.
Inception.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so we should say goodbye to our live cast, and we'll hang out here for a few more seconds. Okay. All right, cool. Thanks everyone.
Bye.
Bye.